this is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I am actually sitting in a pickup truck this week, and ironically, I have this very same pickup truck waiting for me at home because I am not in Chicago. Notice the short sleeves, and it's currently winter in Chicago. So I'm in LA with a couple of rebels. I can say that now because we completed the Rebel. You know, I've got my partner, Kristen Shaw. We ran in the Hyundai Santa Cruz together, and then I have Liza Barres. I did that right?
Barris.
Dang it. I was close, but not right. So Barris. Who ran in a classic Defender. But this is not a Santa Cruz or a classic Defender. This right here is a Ford F-150 Lightning, and she owns it. So I figured this would be a great opportunity for us to just have a little chat about what some of her favorite features are, and you know, why would you buy a Ford F-150 pickup truck?
Well, we decided a few years ago that we always need a pickup truck in our life. We have all sorts of reasons why we might need one. And we thought about a Cybertruck, but I don't know if those things are ever going to get made. And so we put our order in for an F-150 Lightning a couple years ago and happened to magically get one very early when they came out. Now that we have it, we really do love it. We don't regret buying it at all. It's got some great features that we're really, really happy with. We also like being able to drive a bigger vehicle and not have to pay the gas prices to drive a bigger vehicle.
Because how much, I know, I'm like, how much is gas in California right now?
Oh, at any given time, you're paying usually about $6.30-ish right now. It's rare that it gets down below $6. It was about a month ago, but then it went back up again. So you're typically paying above $6 a gallon right now.
Got it. So Liza said something really interesting when she picked me up at the airport at LAX today. And that was that she and her husband, so they have two cars. This is not their only vehicle. You have a 20...
We have a 21 Defender, Land Rover Defender.
So they have a 21 Land Rover Defender as well as this vehicle that are their daily drivers. And she said that in the morning they talk about who is driving the furthest, and you know what vehicle they take? So I'm going to pause for a second. I want you to think about it and guess which vehicle they're going to take when they're driving the longest. Okay, you've got your vote. It's this one! I was just like, seriously? You decide who's driving the longest, and then you take the electric car.
So the range on this one is good enough that for our daily commuting, we are never worried about running out of power. In fact, in most days, we can go 2 full days of full out driving in this city, the max that both of us drive in a typical day, and not be worried about getting this thing below about 30% of its range. So we're not worried about that. We have a charger at home, so we charge it up at night. So we're not worried about range. For us, it's about, you know, saving the miles on the gas vehicle so that we're not paying those $6 plus gas prices. And so whoever has to drive the farthest, like today, I drove halfway across the city twice, coming to see you lovely ladies. And I had the option. I could have taken either car. I was definitely going to take this one today.
So, because like you started out in Valencia, you went to Pasadena, then she went to LAX.
To pick you up. We came to Santa Monica, and then I'll drive back up to Valencia. So today I will probably put about 180 miles on the truck, and I'm not worried about that at all.
You're not freaked out at all?
No.
And you'll get home, how much range will you have?
I'll still have probably roughly about 75 miles left on it when I get home.
Okay, and so keeping in mind, we are in the LA area. They do not really get weather here. So like I'm going to go home to 36 degrees. And by the way, I'm going to have a video coming up with what happened to the range while I was gone. Because
I will be interested to know that.
I think that I will probably have lost at least 50 to 60, maybe 100 miles of range in 2 days of 36 degree weather and not having the vehicle on.
Wow. I definitely don't have to contend with that. The coldest it gets here, the other night it got down to about 37 overnight. And it did give me a warning that I had lost some range due to the weather because it's got to send some more energy to keeping the batteries warm. But other than that, that's not usually a consideration for us here. So that's why the Lightning is a good choice for us.
I do have a question about here, especially with traffic. Does it take away from your range?
No, if anything, I think it does better in traffic than my gas vehicle does. You know, creeping along does not take that much power, I have to say. It's pretty good that way. And because I have the adaptive cruise control, whether you're in full blue cruise mode or not, you have the adaptive cruise control. So it kind of takes care of its own acceleration and deceleration if you want to use it in stop and go traffic, which is kind of great.
Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on Liza, and I want her to tell me some of the things, maybe like three? Do you have three
things?
3 things that she really likes on this vehicle. So let's check that out.
Okay, so one of the first things that I really love, and this is great for anybody who works out of their vehicle, I think they had contractors in mind when they did this feature. I'll turn the car on really quick so that you can see. Is that this entire area here kind of becomes a mobile desk. So if I hit this button right here, the gear changer is going to fold flat, and then this folds all the way across and becomes a little workstation where you can actually set your laptop, try to get a few things done, and you have a nice area to work. Okay, and in addition to that, when you open up the center console, this here is the same size as a standard filing cabinet, so you can actually hang files from here to here and be able to keep all your paperwork ready and organized.
Okay, so I have to ask, because I want to say, like, I think that is a gimmick. Not a gimmick?
It depends. I do a lot of work sitting in car line waiting to pick up my daughter, and being able to pull out my iPad really quick and send a couple of emails while I'm sitting for 15 minutes in car line is shockingly handy. I know that's such a mom thing to say, but I have to say I've used it a couple of times and I kind of dig it.
All right then. Not a gimmick.
Not a gimmick. The other thing that I really like is, and this, Jill, you'll appreciate this because we're both shorties, that this car
I noticed your seat moved forward when you turned it on.
Yeah, the seat saves, you know, the setting. That's not new. Lots of cars do that. But this is the first car I've ever owned where the pedals move.
Yeah, that is my favorite feature.
And when you're below 5 feet tall, that is a definite, especially between my husband and I, because it saves our seat memory, the steering wheel, and the pedal placement. It's such a spoiled brat thing to get in the car in the morning and the whole thing moves to exactly where I want it to move.
So would you call that a marriage-saving feature?
I wouldn't say marriage-saving, but I would say that that it's a very nice perk so you're not on each other's nerves in the morning.
Yeah, so I tend to call it something like that, and then dual automatic climate control, I call that like marriage-saving. All right, so we've got 2. What else have you got?
All right, the power in this thing, I know everybody talks about it. I know it's like the talk of the internet, but there is power everywhere you look. There's actual 120 volt AC right here up at the front. There's USB power right down in here. There is a wireless phone charging system right here, and then the back seat has USB-C, USB-A. It has a bunch of stuff back there, and then in the bed of the truck and in the front, there's also power. In fact, in the bed of the truck, there's 220. You could run a frickin' dryer off of this thing. I don't know why you'd want to, but you could.
Or you could charge another F-150 Lightning. All right, so I think we have to get outside of the vehicle to see a couple more.
Let's go see.
And this is more than 3.
Yeah. All right. Again, this might be a feature that only us shorties truly appreciate, but the bed automatically lowers, and then you've got this guy right here. So you push this in, and a little step comes down, and you take this out. Ooh. And you've got a handle so that you can stand up in the bed of the truck. Come on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely something us shorties appreciate.
And then you can see back here, you've got your power station for back here. So you've got your 220. You've got 2 regular AC and another 2 regular AC volts. So you can power all sorts of things back here, which actually is super handy. All right, and then finally, the frunk. And it may seem like a gimmick, like Jill, you said earlier, but I think actually this is the best part of being a truck owner and not having to deal with the issues of not having a place to put everything. So I have a kid, she's often in the back seat, all of her stuff. It used to be in my Ford Ranger, whenever we would do grocery shopping, I'd have to fill the back seat full, next to her full of groceries. Being able to pop the frunk open and put them up here is pretty awesome. Now, what you can't see is that underneath our bags here, if you lift this up, there's a drain at the bottom and it's got its own little section, and it's great for tailgating because you can actually just dump a bag of ice in there and it'll drip through the whole truck right to the ground, minimal cleanup. We've already done that and we've only owned this thing a month.
That's awesome. And I do want to point out, so we've got 2 rollerboards, 2 backpacks, but I mean, you could put 4 rollerboards back here.
Easily.
So this is road trippable.
Easily, for sure. And like I say, you know, you're not trying to cram it all into one of the spare back seats. So if you've got multiple littles that are taking up your back seat, it kind of makes a pickup truck a lot more useful as a family vehicle than it was before.
Okay, clearly I do not have my tripod today, but I just wanted to do a quick closure and say, yeah, thanks for watching what a real owner likes about their F-150 Lightning. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com, and I will see you down the road.